Hi everyone, welcome to the economic show with Leo. In this video we're gonna talk about the law of demand. Demand is a general term that refers to consumers' willingness to purchase some quantity of goods or services provided. Please memorize that the expression quantity demanded means the consumer's desired quantity. In turn, desired quantity means the quantity that maximizes your total utility of good. Imagine that you need to make the decision about how many pineapples to buy. You will take into account your tastes, income level, price of one pineapple and price of goods similar to pineapple in accordance with your point of view. Let's consider dependence between quantity demanded and unit price only. Assuming that you want to buy the largest number of pineapples, but your family expenditures on the pineapples is equal to $15. When price is $15 per unit, you can buy one pineapple. When price is $5 per unit, you can buy 3 pineapples. When price is $3 per unit, you can buy 5 pineapples. When price is $1 per unit, you can buy 15 pineapples. You can look the blue curve that is similar to the demand curve described in modern microeconomics textbooks. If you can remember this simplified example, you can also remember the law of demand that can be described as follows. The greater price, the smaller the quantity demanded. Note that in my example we answer to the question how many pineapples we can buy, but we don't answer to the question how many pineapples we want to buy. However, this example will help you to easily remember and infer the demand curve. Please remember from the previous video the diminishing marginal utility principle and marginal utility curve. I hope that you see that marginal utility curve looks like the demand curve. As Alfred Marshal noted, utility is taken to be correlative to desire of want. In chapter 3, titled Gradations of Consumers' Demand of this study, Principles of Economics, law of diminishing utility translated into the terms of price. The Marshal conclusion is the following. The larger the amount of thing that a person has, the less will be price which he will pay for a little more of it. Or in other words, his marginal demand price for it diminishes. If the topic about derivatives of the functions and the differentiation rules are difficult for you, please remember the demand law and the aforementioned simplified way to infer it. After that, my proposal for you is to fast forward this video to the conclusion. If the differentiation rules is your strong point, my proposal for you is to examine the consumer's utility maximizing choice of quantity demanded and infer the demand curve together. Imagine that you have the constant amount of money, denoted by M, and you need to make a decision about pineapples amount you want, denoted by N. Price per one pineapple is denoted by P. The total utility includes two parts. The first part is utility as a function of amount of pineapples consumed. The second part is utility of cash that is available after purchase of pineapples. You should maximize your total utility function value. Let's consider the second part. The cash balance depends on the N in accordance with the lower figure. Money utility test that depicted in the upper figure grows in accordance with diminishing utility principle. The geometric relationship between utility of cash available after the purchase of the N pineapples and N is shown in the right figure. To obtain the first point, please look the red line. To obtain the second point, please look the green line, and so on. We have just geometrically inferred the curve of cash utility. The next step is to remember the pineapples utility curve from the video about utility named topic B1. The total utility curve can be found summing the upper and lower curves. It is easy to prove that total utility function has a maximum. We can find this maximum by considering the derivative of total utility with respect to n. Let's use two famous differentiation rules, marked by black color, and infer the formula in the box. You should take into account the unit of measures for marginal utility of n and for marginal utility of cash balance. It is easy to compute the demand price as a ratio between marginal utility of the quantity consumed and the marginal utility of money saved. The marginal utility diagrams allow to compare the marginal utility of two cases, n is high and n is low. When n is low, the marginal utility of goods consumed is greater than the marginal utility of money saved. Hence, demand price is the highest. See the red lines in the diagrams. When n is high, marginal utility of goods consumed is lower than the marginal utility of money saved. Hence, the demand price is the lowest. See the green lines in the diagrams. And the right diagram is the demand curve inferred by means of the second method. Let's consider the third way to infer demand curve. Let's assume that we can only buy apples and pineapples. We cannot save money in this task. These assumptions allow us to easily infer the formula for the desired quantity of the apples depending on apple's price. Let's consider the total utility of choice denoted by ut. When the first order derivative of ut with respect to the quantity of the pineapples is equal to 0, we can infer the ratio between marginal utilities of apples and pineapples. That in turn is equal to the ratio between the prices of these two goods. The ratio also means that the ratio between the goods price and its marginal utility is constant. Let's denote this constant by S. Hence, taking into account the marginal utility diagram, we can easily infer the demand curve. Let's summarize what we know about the law of demand. The demand price is the price that you will be ready to pay to maximize your total utility of good. Quantity demanded is the quantity that maximizes the total utility of your choice. When you think about demand curve, please remember that the greater price, the smaller the quantity demanded. The smaller price, the greater the quantity demanded. To easily infer this law, please remember what quantity of pineapples you can buy when your money is restricted and your willingness to pay is infinitely large. It is the first way to infer the demand law considered in this video. If you have any questions, write in the comments. Good luck in your studies, like it and subscribe. Bye.